Hey guys, I decided to do a video on things I've built, and this table is the first thing. Well, I think one of the first major things I remember I built. I built this when I was 9. Just 2x4s, kind of rough looking. It's full of shit right now, but it's real nice. Made it when I was 9 years old and put lacquer on it. Just 2x4s basically. Made this shelf that's covered with linen. Made this shelf that's covered with linen. This bed that's covered with linens. It's actually a really nice bed. I made this arcade machine, but I never really finished it. You see, it's the profile of it. It just, I don't know. I need to get a veneer and glue it on the sides. It's pretty cool. I got a computer in it. I sleep on a bunk bed, and I made that. Actually, it was the brackets and the hardware was from an old bunk bed. And so I found those 2x4s in the trash, and their bunk bed fell apart, so I just saved the hardware and built the bunk bed. And yeah, that shelf. And gotta be something else in this room. The other thing I made is rabbit traps. Basically what you have here is a trip. Right here, this will fall down and lock in place. There's a stick right there that holds it open, and it's connected to that back pedal that has a little corn cob on it. I made 2 of them. I actually caught a rabbit in them. You can see here the model number, made in China. I put that on there for dibbling. Now it appears that's the rest of the stocks. Any of you guys know what this is? I'm guessing no. Well, some of you might. This is a box beller, and you could bell pine straw with it. So one of my money making schemes was going to make me rich, but I just kind of gave up. It works perfectly though. You see the lines held down there. Those little eye hook things. String comes through here. Here's the plunger, what they call the plunger. Make this go down like this. And that's basically how it works. You put the pine straw in there, and then you go down on the plunger, and it compacts the pine straw like that. And then after you've got it good enough, you tie it off with string. This is on either side. You open up the door. There's the blocking mechanism. One of the blocking mechanisms. And you get your bell out after it's tied off and everything. Yeah, we used it a couple times. It worked pretty good. As you see here, I can get the socket off of this. I've broken this handle a couple times. They break very easily. So I put a piece of pressure treat on there. I don't know if that should last long or not. What I need probably is a bracket that holds this, because it's probably going to break again. I haven't used it in a long time, but it does bell. I probably should use it. It's good, yeah. It's pretty nice to have. You can bell pine straw, you can bell hay. Some people even bell kudzu. Bell whatever the hell you want. And, yeah, my next big creation. And this is the last thing I've built. A giant shed. Look at the back side, shall we? I haven't really finished painting. I got a nice overhang, got my boat back here. Here's how much I spent on building the shed. Nothing. What happened was my uncle had this barn, and he sold the land, so it was on state land, because he sold it for a water party to make the reservoir over here in Georgia. And so they said that he could have the barn if he wanted it, but he had to take it apart. And so he asked me if I wanted half the wood, and I said sure. And so I took it down for half the wood, and my half of the wood I built the shed. As you see here, this is just like a siding type board that's like plywood. It just has grooves in it. And right here I had a I didn't have enough pieces to finish it, and so I had these small little pieces, so I put this piece of trim board to cover the crack where they were cut. And this is actually the original door to the tack room in the barn. And I just put new hinges on it. I built it on sleds. I had to dig a hole there, but it's built on pressure treated sleds. That way if I wanted to move it, we could drag it out. Although it's stuck between two trees, that one. It's a 8 by 12, but if you count the roof's overhang, it's actually 12 by 11. So I got a good amount of room in here. I built all this shelving in here, all this. It didn't cost me a thing. I got most of the nails. See that bucket? So I went through a bucket of nails on the side of the road. A bunch of other trash, so I got the nails. And yeah, got some pegboard up. It's pretty nice. The only problem with having a shed is anyone in your family is going to put crap in your shed. This shed maybe had a couple toolboxes in it, virtually empty, but everyone found tools around the house to put in the shed. Everyone had something they needed to be put in the shed, and now I can't even get a riding lawnmower in. I could barely get my four-wheeler. So yeah, I also have to put the box baler in here too, because that's plywood and it rots fast. But yeah, this is my shed, and basically cost me, I actually bought a box of nails. That's right. So whatever box of nails was, $16. There's pretty long ones. It's built to move. I have a posted beam design. These posts go down to the sled member, which has cross pieces on it that hold it in place, and then stringers in between there, and just 3 sheets of plywood laid down on the floor. I went with the slanted roof because it's real easy, and I had a lot of tin roof because there's a lot of extra tin roofing down there. And all I had to do was line up the holes. It took me about a good solid 2 months to take down the barn, simply because it was at the highest maybe 25 feet high, and I'm a big boy and I'm up on a roof of a shaky barn, and so I got that all done and fell through the roof once. I caught myself as just the roof things were real rusty or something like that. I pulled out every nail, and my uncle didn't want me to throw any nails down in case he picked them up in his lawnmower or something like that. So every nail I put in a bucket after being ripped out. So there's like buckets of bent nails down there. But yeah, pretty nice shed. The wood's kind of old and weathered, but who cares? This is a better angle.